This morning we have me playing against Macro Menace. I am here in the red, going as the USA, versus Macro, who is going as, I forget what it's called. It's the other kind of air mark. It's not the default. But anyway, I have decided to start streaming, well not streaming, but sharing some of my videos. I have just got back into Company Heroes 2. It's been a long time, and I figured the best way to really learn for myself and to learn with others is to just share my experiences. So I played a few matches. This is one of my early ones that I have played, and I really kind of forgot a lot of stuff. So, but I knew, of course, you got to take those capture points. So my current build plan with the United States over here in the red, of course, was you start with your rear echelon troops, and I was like, I got to get a lot of guys out. So I started with rear echelon, but got an infantry unit and worked on a second rear echelon. One of the things I've been learning recently is the Americans are good troops in this, but man, they can get overrun a lot. And I've been trying some different factions and all this, but when I used to play, all I used to do was go American. But now I've been spreading my wings. But I've noticed a lot of people like going German, and so I actually haven't tried them yet. But as you can see, it's early game 1v1, and they have just taken this point, and I have just taken this point. So one of the things I figured out is I thought, you know what, let's get that fuel node. The more fuel I can take, the better. And this is on their side of the field anyway, so if I take this, this might hurt them pretty good. As you can see, I'm just getting obliterated here. Those MP40s work a lot better than M1 carbine, that's for sure. And I just, yeah, it was not going to happen. So, run away. This, our German opponent here is smart. I mean, he ran me down there, took it out. I stayed too long. That's what happened. So by this point, I think I have gotten the hand grenades out. And I'm trying to take this point. I should have been using cover. I know that now. But I'm getting absolutely demolished here. Like I said, that hand grenade worked well. Second units coming in, push them off the point. They're also sending in a second unit. I did over here over the fuel node. Go ahead and try to push over, take one of their points. Again, just there's no way these rear echelon are going to compete with German infantry. I'm not too familiar with the Panzer Fusiliers. I mean, all I know is they're not standard infantry, but what do you guys know? I mean, are they pretty good? Like I said, I've never played German before, and they're pretty solid. So, I mean, I keep using hand grenades, cost a lot of munitions, but I find it worth it. But, oh, I heard NTM tank destroyer and was like, I don't remember getting a tank that early, but it's just that the armor company. Capture point is being overrun. So the M10 is available. It's not, you know, when I go as American, I do like using the assault engineers a lot, and also the elite vehicle crews. The fact that the vehicle crews can repair their own tanks is pretty helpful. And then the engineers, the assault engineers, they all have content, so they quick. So this guy here was smart. This entire territory here cuts off my supplies. I mean, he just takes that. It hurts. I did get a mortar to try to overrun some of his stuff, especially these other crews here. I figured getting some range on that may not hurt, but man, this guy's pretty aggressive. I actually don't remember all this much, so that's kind of helpful. Of course, he's smart by closing the distance. The M1s here, these rifles are range items, so they're range weapons, I should say. So they are pretty good at distance, but at this time I kept thinking, I gotta rush points, I gotta keep pushing in. I mean, I'm holding this point, there's really no reason to be rushing in. I mean, he's building entrenchments up here too.
A capture point is under attack.
So I'm losing that capture point, losing the middle capture point, but I'm trying to get that fuel back in. Looks like he's building defenses while he's there, that's smart. I do have my mortars, come on, tell those mortars to fire. What's wrong with you? There we go. Yeah, these guys, these Panzer Fusiliers, they're good.
One of our capture points.
So here's those engineers. They look kind of like paratroopers, but There are 5 of them, and I said they had Thompsons. They've actually got grease guns, I think. So their range is really not good at all. Their job is to cover ground quickly and then just kind of overwhelm the opponent. Just get a lot of bullets on point. So I do use them as assault troops because, let's be fair, they are. As you can see, I rushed in here. He threw a nade here, which is one of those incendiary nades that basically don't do a lot of initial damage from what I've seen, but they do a lot of damage over time. And knowing me and my lack of micro, I was paying attention elsewhere as my guys are losing all their strength. I did neutralize the point, but I mean, I almost lost the entire unit. Then I tell him to retreat, and he says, "Hey, who doesn't want their feet to be on fire?" So again, losing that point, I've only got my mortar. It looks like I've repaired 1 unit. I've got a rear echelon over here. And you know what? Okay, there's the other one. So I finally have my lieutenant in the game. That's a plus. They're going for my mortar, as I should. It's one of those fire incendiary things.
A capture point is under attack.
Like I said, I don't know what that is. I haven't played enough German. I haven't hardly played any German at all. Should probably go to play the campaign or some of those special missions as German. Get used to kind of their specialties and see what they. I know that a lot of them get the MG42, and so far my opponent here has not used the MG42, which is actually rather impressive. I learned that the hard way after a couple of matches that that's all people like to use in an early game. So as you can tell, I close the distance here. This unit's got some experience. It's level 3. Actually, level 3. It's got 3 guys left, level 2. The Germans here, they've got a good experience unit. These are the Sturm Pioneer squads. Let's see. So my rear echelon took this. I pulled them back out of the way, thinking, you know, maybe it's best if they're not just exposed out there. There are only 3 Germans here, so this is a plus.
A capture point is being overrun.
So again, open fire. These guys are pioneers. I mean, this is, I guess technically this is an even match. It is not an even match, but they close the distance. They are pretty wounded, and they jumped into cover though. This is an experience thing. I saw the Panzerschreck and I thought, you know what, these guys have got the experience. And also I sent my lieutenant in here, so that is a plus too.
Ambulance taking the field.
So taking that point. Taking this point, I pulled these guys way back to this tree so that they just would not get hit without me seeing it. That way they would have to be engaged and I had time to react to those Molotovs or whatever they are. So I did pull in an ambulance. I know that part of the game is healing your troops. And so that is what I decided to do, is let's get this ambulance in here, start healing these guys so they're not picked off as easily. Even that's why I'm sending this whole unit back like this. Maybe not the best play, but you know, live and learn. So they pulled up an MG. MGs are a pain. But it's not really MG. The MGs could pin these guys. It is these units here. They're doing a mad rush, and they will wipe out that lieutenant. So at the same time, they're pushing the middle. This is smart because, I mean, especially when I was new, I had no way of responding to 2 different points at the same time. Just none. Of course, they're using a lot of their munitions doing this, which is smart. I mean, as you can tell, my unit here, which his job is to rush, just absolutely got demolished. They're taking this point, of course. So now I have this infantry that was way off in the left point is now pushing over. And I think this is one of those where I stopped paying attention, either here or a little bit later. It was like I was looking at something else, maybe trying to look at, I need to get a captain out on the field, I need to save up some fuel, you know, that kind of stuff.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
So they're pushing for my fuel, of course, as they should. That is a weak point. So yeah, they get behind me here. I think they try to. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm better at this game than I thought. I don't remember. Okay, so yeah, they've got the, what is it, the Sturmgewehrs. Yeah, they got the Sturmgewehrs. Absolutely the demolishing unit. And I was not paying attention and got slaughtered. Yeah, I thought I remembered this. That's never good. Never. Nope. So at this point, it's kind of a lull. I mean, half my army's down here being refitted, or need to be refitted. So I got my captain out. That's good. Got my lieutenant out here. These guys are refitting. I did lose that infantry unit, but I did come over here and attack. Let's see, I got a rear echelon unit, which really, again, isn't very good from what I've seen. And then, of course, retaking the fuel with my infantry. interesting is I was kind of chasing these guys here. Yeah, I am chasing them. But I know there's an MG probably still sitting there. At least from what I've seen, most people don't move their MGs until they're actually put pressure on them. Which I kind of get. I mean, if I had moved my mortar team from here, like over to here, started shelling this over here, he'd totally move. As he should. I apologize if you hear any of my nose. Apparently I have a little bit of allergies going on. So here's a good push. I figured I've got my captain here. He's got the rifles, basically like some infantry, and of course my assault troops that are the assault engineers. Those grease guns. And I figured I'm going to surround them, get on two sides so they can't use grenades, take this cover. This trough here looks like it's green cover. It's actually rather impressive for a trough. So it's time to pursue them. Captain will take this point. But let's see if these grease guns can take these guys out for good. At least that's the plan. They run faster. My guys are just kind of doing that little waltzy waltz. Just run along. And then I turned around. I think it's mostly because I didn't want to lose another unit, which, to be fair, is probably smart. But at this point, I mean, it's a pretty balanced game. I am losing. Yeah, enemy team. Yeah, I am losing here. But I mean, it's a close fight. So they're using some cover. It's these Sturmgewehrs. I'm telling you, the Sturmgewehr in that unit is kind of an LMG. It's really good. These are the Volksgrenadiers. So mostly bolties. It looks like they got two of those. That nade is bad. I need to get out of there. Captain, retreat. Captain, retreat. Captain, retreat. Retreat. And I'm dead, of course. So of course push up the center. It's always good to counter. I think it would have been better to counter and take out those two units, but I get it. So that was a good push. Taking the point. Taking the point. And then this thing. Oh man, I hate these things. What are these called? The Cheveer Panzer headquarters? I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation of that. But if I did, I apologize. I just don't know how to pronounce that. Cheveer? Cheveer? Cheveer. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So these guns here, I've heard they're anti-infantry. I'm not too familiar with that. I do know that they're very annoying. So this placement right here for these sandbags to me was brilliant. My opponent, Macro Menace here, who I actually don't know, but I've just played against him. That was really smart because I can't use that cover. You know, because it's right up against the point, so it's on his side. I can't do anything. Alright, down here at the bottom, they push forward. They're taking one of my nodes. That's what's called munitions points. That's smart, because that's where a lot of my hand grenades and stuff are coming from. I decided to take this point, because of course victory points is the whole point of the game, is victory points. Man, actually, I've gotten a little better, I think, since then. I'm looking just how long the game's been going on and how long it's taken me to actually even get anything out. I mean, I think I'm calling in a Greyhound or something. I mean, I've got a Major coming out, and I'm getting like this light tank. So I don't think he was smart here. I think he should have taken that point, especially with these rifles. He would have beaten the rear echelon guys. In my opinion. I could be wrong.
Utility car taking the field.
Alright, so I got my utility car. Of course, I'm running up here to use the cover as well, and just mostly just cut these guys down. Those grease guns are pretty good, very, very close. So right here, he's trying to cut me off again. I'm sending these guys to counter over here, but here it comes. Oops. Trying to turn on and off the observer HUD, just kind of see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm trying this out. Have a look. So utility car, I think drove him back. I was like, all right, this is good. And I think I wasted munitions on this. Did I waste that? Yeah, it must be. Okay, I hadn't done it yet, but getting the armored skirts because it improves its durability. The reason I say waste is I'm pretty sure this utility car lasts like, probably a minute. Could be wrong. I don't remember for sure how long it survives. So, retaking munitions. It's annoying they do that. So the question is, the more units you have on here, is it the faster they take it? So if you've got 2 or 3 on here, does it take it faster? And the same question is based on the number of guys in the point. So there's 5 here. Do 5 take it faster than, say, a wounded unit with 3 guys in it? I haven't really seen that, so I don't know. Okay, so they're pushing back over here. That's smart of them. I took cover on the wrong side, of course. Sounds like me. Sounds like something I do. Chasing them around. It's kind of just ring around the rosy here. Again, these guys these engineers are pretty good. So they didn't like wipe out a unit. I wouldn't say they're that good, but they are pretty efficient at pushing forward. So here I've got my mortar in action. It looks like he's trying to go for that mortar, or was thinking about it. So I thought, all right, let's make a push. Of course, you look at these Panzerschreck teams. They've got 3 Panzerschrecks here. I'm totally not. That's right. Yeah, I knew it. I knew that wasn't going to survive. Yeah, that was a good kill there. Holy moly, took a 3. I don't even know how that happened, but it happened regardless. So they're pushing out probably for my mortar here. I think out of my entire army, that's the only thing that's annoying them. I should have probably built like a, I don't know, machine gun emplacement. He doesn't have much. He does have that 1 artillery unit, but he doesn't really. So it looks like I built a fuel cache here, which was probably not a bad idea. Come on, take him out, take him out, take him out, take him out. Come on. And no, they didn't take him out. Then, of course, the sound no one wants to hear is when you lose your own tank, you start hearing the sound of an engine. Like, oh boy. What I do when I'm waiting for stuff to build, I look around and I see, oh, see, that's disappearing. Tank drove through here. So we got a tank probably in this vicinity. Which, I know that now. Back then, I hadn't really learned. So, I've got a friend that I play with some, and I'll do some recordings of his matches. But what we used to do is we thought online playing was so hard back when we played years ago, so we'd only play against the PC. And on total annihilation. As you can imagine, that if any of you have ever tried that, that is much harder than real multiplayer. And, you know, we'd eventually win, but it'd be like 4-hour games trying to do that. And so, when we tried again, I was like, you know, let's just play against people. Surely it's not hard. Okay, so as you can see, I'm having to retreat. I don't want to lose my mortar. He's going for that fuel cache. He's clearly trying to starve me of resources. He's got his tank. So, I mean, it's smart. It was good destruction there. I pushed up around. I really should get these engineers in. One thing I don't like doing is giving engineers the bazookas. I feel like when I give them bazookas, it takes down a lot of their firepower. But I think I had to do that just because I did not have enough infantry. Because if you look, I've got 1 bazooka infantry, and my lieutenant, my captain died. So other than that, if I want more bazookas on the field, I've got to use my engineers. And I don't remember the cost, but I do think the engineers cost $280. That's about the same as infantry, I think. I don't remember. I'm not very good at remembering the resources because... why do I have to? I mean, I just turn around and take it. Okay, so that tank's coming back. That's a problem. If I recall correctly, I think I was thinking, man, should I just resign, start over, try a different match? But I mean, the battle's not over. It's not. I need to get back into it, and I do have an M10. Okay, I think that's probably something that is a good counter. Now, of course, if the other tank is smart, they could totally push me. I mean, if they push this thing, did a little bit of hitting it, you know, trying to circle around it, they could probably do it, especially with all their Panzerschreck teams. They could easily overwhelm that. But he may only have 1 tank. Yeah, he's only got 1. So, I can see him not wanting to risk it. His fuel is pretty good. His is better than mine. He does have more income, slightly. Looks like he's got 26, I have 23, so... No, he told me, you're a good player. That was nice of him. I don't think I was a very good player, but yeah, when I reply back, you are too. Boy, was I serious. I was like, yeah, you're beating me. I don't know how I'm going to win this, if I'm even going to win. Now, I'm not sure what no spam means. I don't know if that was I'm not trying to distract you, or if he was telling me, hush. Yeah, see, I was like, it's a spam? Hmm? And, of course, just call me an ignorant person. I don't know what that means. I've read that as kind of, yeah, you're trying to spam me, aren't you? It's like, or any other blob. Okay, I don't know. But, okay, I trust you, my man. I trust you. So, okay, they are taking over here on the far side my fuel node. Excuse me, goodness gracious. It's interesting that they kind of left this so long because I had nothing over here. I mean, it was a good push on their part to just take my fuel node. But then, of course, I responded with this, which is... I don't think this was intentional to grab that mortar. But I needed fuel. I needed tanks. I knew he was getting another tank, and I'm right, he has another tank out there. But, I mean, this was a good fight. This unit has 4 experience. And if he looked away, which it looks like he did, he lost that unit. And that's painful. Because that unit was really, really good. And, I mean, I countered here. I wish I had looked over at this too, but hey, at least we got to see me take out a unit. Yippee! Now, one thing that I try not to do is take units that don't have some sort of reserve munitions bombard, because I did that on, you'll see on some other matches. I went as a Russian. They didn't have any of the bombard special abilities. And man, that was so tough because I had no way of pushing back unless I actually had guys like mortars and I think for Russians it was Katushkas. Unless I actually had something on the map, there was nothing I could do to stop a big offensive, especially if they were just grouped up. See, this guy, he's being mean here. I want to say mean. he's being smart. He's pushing forward. I've only got 1 bazooka, but that apparently did drive him away. Now, I brought my M10, and I know this thing has light armor. It's not like amazing, but it is good, and I thought, I cannot risk losing this thing. So, if he pushes forward again, I will push him. Alright, finally got something good in the game. We got a Sherman out here. I know now the Major is a very good thing to have, because he's got his own special, what's this, rapid barrage that comes in. It's pretty good. That being said, I would not, I would not try to lose him in a battle because he's very expensive. But that special ability is pretty good. He's also got the established retreat point. That's nice too, especially if you get your medics out there and you get your ambulance out there. You can refit. I didn't really know all that, at least to that extent, or how to do it. When I played some with Jimbo, which you'll see some of those matches later, he started doing it. So I kind of learned some of that from him. So this is clearly a bad spot to be in. They've got the range. Their K98 says those Mausers are really good with that. I did take cover here, but again, I'm on the wrong side. So whenever you're in this type of situation, you've got to just rush them. And rush and rush and rush and don't stop rushing. Because especially with these short-range weapons, you've got to do that. So I brought in my Sherman. I thought, you know what? We're going to actually hit these guys. Why keep this thing in reserve? I need to do this, but the main thing I want to do is pull back. It's like I cannot stay there because I don't want him to rush me with his tank, which I only knew he had 1 at the time, and a lot of his Panzer trucks. I ran up here, forgot about this thing. That was my fault. That was really stupid of me. He's got this, probably 75 millimeter infantry support gun. Yeah, it's pretty good. So here it comes. I mean, I knew it. I knew he was coming in here. I don't think this is really a good fight to be in. Yeah, it's never a good sign when you shoot them and they don't do any damage. So, of course, I did get a good hit there. He missed. His tank missed. That was not good on his part. So he's got his armor here. He's got a anti-tank rocket launcher. Okay. So I sent in my rear echelon. I thought, they're not that good anyway. Let's try to neutralize the point. And we got basically, let's stop the hemorrhaging. I'm losing this fight. I brought the anti-tank gun in. That was not a good idea. Please tell me I don't lose this tank. Oh, good. It was a good hit. The Panzer IV is a good tank. It's a good standard tank. So he retreated. I could not afford to lose this thing. But I thought, you know what? We're going to push. And then I realized I think there was an anti-tank gun here. And I thought, you know what? That's a bad idea. Because if you lose this tank, basically we lose the game. I was at 92 fuel. I think I was trying to get another tank on the field. And this is the nice perk about the armor company. The armor company, their own engineers, or the crew, will repair their own tanks when you tell them to. And that is huge because it eliminates the need, unless you're building defenses, it eliminates the need for a rear echelon at all. Because I think it's the rear echelon that repair stuff, right? Let me see. Yeah, the rear echelon are the guys who can repair anything. So since they're just not very good at combat at all, I wouldn't do anything. So it looks like, man. Oh, it must have been their big push through here. I do not remember taking damage on my vehicle. Yeah, I should tell this rear echelon guy, repair that right there. But no. Okay, looks like that was a good hit from a mortar. Yep, that mortar. Went ahead and told the lieutenant pull back since I'm pulling up more troops. It's good. I'm holding this with my Sherman. These guys really should be like right over there. Move there, move there. Just kind of a very noob thing I feel like to do is just send your troops to take a point and then leave them there. But hey, I'm a noob, so what can I say? I do not know everything about this game. But I figure if I share these types of replays with you, A, you may enjoy them. I enjoy listening to other replays that people do on other games and stuff. At the same time, I figure, you know what? You guys will comment and you'll help me learn. Plus, it's also fun to see the progression as I hopefully get better. I mean, at some point I may plateau and just be, oh, that's as bad as he is. So, I mean, it happens. That is the way it is, but, I mean, it's fun. So I brought in this anti-tank gun. It's in the corner. They cannot get around this side. And that is really, I think this was a smart idea. Because if a tank comes through, I think they're going to prioritize this. I do. Excuse me, prioritize the tank destroyer, not the anti-tank gun. Now that's scary. That's a Jagdpanzer 4. My German's not the greatest. Most of my... I'm very good at knowing Hogan's Heroes German accents. So what? That's like 3 people on the show actually have a good one. Mostly because they're actually German. So, yeah, there's only so much I can do. And as far as I know, they're making fun of German accents on there. It's a funny show. I like the show, though. So let's see. At this point, I had a good staging. I had my Sherman here. I transferred over, got these guys, good infantry. I thought, you know, let's move this here, make sure I'm not about to get surprised. Because the last thing I wanted was a tank to drive through here, through this left side, and then just start hitting my stuff and back up and get away. And then I have to wait longer to repair. Because, I mean, I'm losing points. Significantly. I mean, I do hold 1, but I'm still losing points. The irony at this point is, I thought I had a bigger military than him, or he had a bigger military, and he does. He's pop capped, which I think at this point he should do some probes, like a little bit of a probing raid, maybe send a Panzer IV down here with a couple of infantry and just take this point, basically make me work for it, because why not? But on the other hand, this is holding this point for my infantry, and so his entire army's up here, which I kind of figured. But I had to take one, and I knew I couldn't take the center, so this is my only chance. But I mean, I think I'm saving for another tank, and that's a long wait. That's a really, really long wait. Because, I mean, at this point, if he does anything, I've got a good force. But you know how I said it was a long wait? It's because I wasn't paying attention. Apparently, I had another tank on the way. I'm smarter than I thought. Now, while all this is going on, I mean, he's banking resources. So if I get into a fight, there's not much I can do. The one thing it looks like I have an advantage on is munitions, which is good because these barrages is 200 points. I think my major... Yeah, I'm moving my major over. I'm trying to get ready for that big push. So the major is also has that barrage, which is 60. So that's 2 counter barrages, which is good. That's effective. I think I should be getting machine gun on this. There we go, 50 cal. So that's a plus. So a little bit more of the probing raid. I'm pretty sure at this point I said, you know what, if I'm going to do it, this is it. So let's see, these guys are, those Volksgrenadiers, they're good. Kind of their standard infantry. The Panzer Fusiliers, obviously this unit's getting clobbered. So yay for me. That MG, really it's not the best place, but it is a good place. And that's it, right there. I called them the big barrage. The green smoke goes everywhere. You can see them start to pack up. And I was like, all right, this is the best thing to do. Whew, 120 millimeters, man, I tell you. And this is it. I was like, okay, they're retreating. I've got to push up. As you can see, this circle is where anywhere in that barrage stuff can hit. And I was like, I'm going to lose the game anyway. I've got to push forward. Push, 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 push. I call them more assault engineers because I lost some, so who cares? Just get more in. Spread out because I don't want his mortar to do stuff. He's got his guys here. Got that. I put these in a building. That was a big brain move on my part, apparently. Yeah, never do that. That unit's dead. So here we go. 3 tanks versus his 1. This is a good fight for me. There we go. It's not destroyed, but it's hurt. So this was one that was close. He pushed in. He died there. His mortars and grease guns, all that stuff, that was good. He's got his, looks like some shelling me from over here. Took the point. Alright, we are winning the game now. I thought, hey, let's steal this tank. Rear echelon, and then of course, it destroy. Oh dear. That's pretty awesome. That is a fantastic special effect. Feel sorry for those guys, of course, but that's pretty fantastic. Man, that looked good. Okay, so here's a counter push. So he intercepted me here. I'm not sure why he pushed here. I mean, it's a good idea, but I would have come in more with this armor facing front. I mean, now he's pushing me with this tank. I mean, he did do a rear armor hit on me. That was good. This tank probably could have done a lot more damage. There we go. That was a good hit. That killed me there. Moving this anti-tank gun. This M10 tank destroyer, though, is still in the field. Looks like he dropped smoke on me. That's smart. It keeps me from shooting. It allows him to get out of there. That was good. So this was a good fight. This was a very good fight. He's got another tank coming into backfill. It looks like I don't. My 2 tanks that are left are hurt. He is still here, though. His MG crew's moving up. And I was like, I do not want this tank to get away. Because if he gets away, then, you know, I was like, I've got 2 tanks and he has 1, and that was a good hit. He almost killed me there. That MG crew was smart. They took that. Shooting at the M10 was, I guess, not that effective. I think I lost an infantry unit. So while this is going on, he's doing what he should. He should counter. But I left 2 units here specifically for this reason. I think it would have been smarter to use his tanks and shift over here. Just let me take this point at the top and be like, yeah, you do that, man. Good for you. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. I lost my medium tank, so that Sherman just died. I did get a bulldozer Sherman in here. It's more of a mortar type tank. This M10, he is going for blood. Thankfully, this bulldozer hit him, and he backed up. I personally think he should try to take that out. I don't know how I get a rear armor hit from that range, but it's okay. So, of course, he's backing up there, as he should. I mean, that's bad for him. That hurts. Sending my mortar, shooting back out there. Looks like it's still retreating. I know I can remove the fog of war, but it kind of keeps some of the mystery with the game. At this point, I didn't realize how badly hurt both of us were. I mean, I was at 49, he was at 47. It was a pretty balanced game. Again, these guys repairing themselves. As you can see, I have no rear echelon. I don't need rear echelon. I am low on manpower because I'm still building units, but I like not having to have those assault engineers. They just not that good. Or, excuse me, not having the rear echelon. So it looks like he's got his personnel gun over here shelling. I did not want to lose another unit. It was, so I've held back. It's not perfect. Okay, he's got a gun there. He got a good hit on me there. Like, time to fall back. Okay, took out a unit. Need to still fall back. This is bad. I got so lucky there. That was incredibly lucky. I almost lost that tank. Also, what's interesting about these combat engineers is they can repair vehicles too. So sometimes when I've got idle time, like I have to take this point, I really do. Sometimes when I have idle time, I will actually repair that tank too. So he's got his Panzer back, not fully repaired. This unit should be on the repair. Again, I'm learning, and I imagine that he's probably learning too, but I'm going for this tank. It's like, I am killing this tank. So I called in my big barrage, and I just happen to know I got lucky here just because of the way I saw things work out. But his tank's sitting right here, right? I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'm going to show you. So he's got this right here. But that big shelling's coming in, right? And that shelling hits anything within the circle. And if it hits, it's devastating. And this, I don't blame anybody for this, but it happens. And that happened right there. And that right there, I think that hurt him really, really bad. He was sending flanking troops around trying to take this out. It wasn't working. This MG's here. I mean, holding the point. He's winning. He's still taking the point right now. But I mean, this Sherman it's got that 105mm bulldozer. I know this is stupid driving through here, but it was all I could do. He said, "You got me." mean, he does have 3 units on the field. That was good for him. I mean, seriously, saying GG. I honestly thought I was going to lose this match. It's just that final battle was pretty intense. And he said, actually, I think he thought, you know what, I might have a chance. And I was like, okay. It doesn't bother me much. Man, it looks like I've got a German stuck there, and that's kind of mean. When we say bulldoze, we mean bulldoze. Alright, so he's doing a counter push. Yeah. I threw a nade here. That was actually a decent nade. Put it in front of his infantry as he's moving up. Sometimes you do that if the other player's watching, you just waste munitions. But as you can see, I don't have a shortage there. Took out that unit. They lost a Panzer Schreck. He needs those Panzer Schrecks. I went ahead and made a push, which ironic is I hadn't taken this one yet. I didn't have any infantry here. I should have put my anti-tank gun there. Although I think his artillery would have killed it. I started taking this one. I went ahead and started pushing up here. I thought, you know what? If he was going to retreat, there's probably a reason. And when I engaged here, I was like, you know, I'm out. It's like, I'm not going to stay there. I wanted to neutralize it, make him work for it, but I wasn't going to stay. The interesting thing is, I have 115 points, and I mean, I'll be back to 100 soon. I think if I hadn't been pushing, there's a very good chance that he probably would have tried to refit pretty firmly and try to, you know, actually build up his army, get more tanks, get back in the game, and then say, you know what, okay, we're actually going to fight this. That's interesting, though, that he lost that unit. Looks like he's got that gun right back in his base. I should have just pushed. I mean, I guess I didn't have to. That's the anti-tank rocket launcher. So at this point, he's down to 2 anti-tank, or two guns, and looks like 1 tank.
Commanders, be advised. Troop level barrage now available.
I picked up his own MG. Yeah, MG34. Figured, let's kind of watch this gun. I probably should have just taken the gun if it bothered me that much. But I get it. Oh yeah, take the point. Yeah, that's smart. Ah, that's a big brain move there. Yeah, let's go ahead and take that point. This thing right here, this right here is probably the main reason that I was not pushing on this side. Although, did they take that? Let's see if they actually took. Yeah, he took that fuel node. Okay, I just never went back there. I probably should have. I think I had 1 unit here. Yeah, I fell back. I was holding all 3 points. I kind of figured, why risk it? Yep, taking this. That's good. So basically, the game's kind of over, but what he's trying to do is rebuild. He's got a tank, he's got an anti-tank gun, he has an infantry support unit, and he's got an infantry unit. I mean, this is not beyond the realm of possibility of actually recovering. I mean, I think his problem is this assault artillery that he has. He doesn't have enough munitions, and I think the best thing to do would be to wait for this. Send in 1 unit as bait, that's what I do. See where they're at and do this. Now, I have another Sherman here, obviously. I replaced my Shermans I lost. And he pushed forward. This is an inexperienced unit, but every time I see a tank, I'm like, I have got to attack it. So that was a good hit on his part. Something I learned later is you can prioritize vehicles by actually toggling prioritize vehicles. Like, that's genius right there, man. If only I'd known that. Yeah, this thing is so anti-infantry, it's awesome. It's like a heavy mortar. He's taking the center. Good for him, that's smart. I did actually have troops headed that way, I think. Yeah, I had my tank watching it. He has nothing to counter that tank, so... I mean, he neutralized it, which is good. It stops the bleeding of his points a little faster. But, I mean, it doesn't make it... I mean, it's not a bad thing, but here's good. This is good on his part. I mean, I'm backing up, facing the wrong way. Oh, he should have pursued that. But I guess he was afraid these were coming in on the side. That's true. Oh, no, he came back. That was smart. Yeah, that was a good hit. Very good hit. Yep, I missed. Good job. So, of course, these guys, fresh out of the academy, fresh out of boot camp, they're like, alright, we're going to retake this point. And then, of course, he backed up right here, and I think that's it. I mean, he lost his tank. I mean, he could probably get another tank, but really what he needed was 2 tanks. He needed this artillery ready to go. What I would have done now, if I was him, and I'm not criticizing him at least. I mean, he absolutely gave me a run for my money. But what I probably would have done is send him a cheaper unit. like cheapest you can get in here to see where things are, call on that mortar barrage or the artillery barrage, and then you send in your entire force. And that needs to have your 2 tanks, because the thing is, when guys start retreating, the anti-tank gun's out of it, the machine guns are out of it, so your infantry can move up. The tanks could stay, but then you're on an even-ish playing field of dealing with tanks, and your anti-tank guns are there. And that's the end of the game. I believe he quit at that point, which he already said GG's, so... And I think we did chat a little bit afterwards. It did not record that. It dawned on me I should probably do an after-action report and actually show you how these units did. And as you can see, my most valuable unit was the tank destroyer, because it really did, as we saw throughout the game, it never got destroyed, which was good. It did destroy 2 tanks, and it dealt out twice as what it took. So that's typically a good thing. The assault engineers are pretty aggressive. They've got that 24 kills. Really good there. The mortar team, 2 vehicles destroyed. So I'm trying to think of what many vehicles those would have been, but I do not remember. I don't know if anti-tank guns count as that. But overall, I did end up dealing more damage, but look at the units killed. I mean, goodness gracious, this is basically identical. Units lost, it was nearly identical. I mean, it was a good toe-to-toe fight. It really was. You compare the graphs of the two, this was the big fight. We were about at the 100 pop right there. Value was pretty even. We lost at just slightly faster rate there. I was able to maintain my troops a little better. I think that spike there is when I got the extra assault engineers, because I had them ready in queue. I mean, resource flow, I mean, look at this. Basically identical in the game. Points held. He held points longer than me. I mean, macro menace, I mean, you're doing an excellent job. So, all good. My captain died instantly. But all told, this was really, really a good balanced fight. Construction was good. But overall, good game. So, good game. Thank y'all for watching. See you next time.